So this is the iPad Pro M4 13-inch, and today we're going to do a speed test against the all-new OnePlus Pad 2, which comes in at $549 and makes it about half the price of even the starting 11-inch iPad. So let's see how they go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. We're back in the tablet world today. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up in 3, 2, go. And keep in mind that the iPad Pro M4, I'm very aware that it's the more powerful chipset, and I have noticed that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is probably closer to the M2, and I know someone who does have an M2 iPad. I got rid of mine, so that's why I'm comparing these. If you guys want to see an M2 versus this OnePlus Pad 2, let me know. But you did see right here that the iPad Pro turned on faster, but it was very slight, not a big difference. Also, it's apples to oranges when it comes to display. This does use IPS LCD because this is a much more affordable price point than the iPad, which now uses OLED, but this is a really pricey tablet. So we're not comparing specs and display and all that here. We're just doing performance today. Okay, so both of these tablets are kind of like similar shape and look, but this one is kind of in between the size of an iPad Pro 13 and an iPad Pro 11, but they both do have landscape orientation biometrics. So over here, Face ID unlocks just like so, and you get right in. Now on the OnePlus Pad, it also has a face unlock, which probably isn't super easy to fool with a picture anymore. But you can see it's pretty much the same thing when it comes to the face unlock right there. However, it's not the same in terms of it being as secure. This is not a Face ID like sensor. So when it comes to software, we do have iPad OS 17.6 over here, and over here we have Oxygen OS 14.1. And this is on the official latest version. You can see the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor over here, 12 gigabytes of RAM, plus it does have, you can do a RAM expansion here as well on this. All right, so let's take a look at the general performance. You can see kind of scrolling through over here on the iPad, super smooth day to day. Don't really care much about worrying about lag on the home screens, especially on the official version. The beta is definitely giving us some chop, but not the official version over here. So buttery smooth day to day, that's what you expect from iPad. It's been that way for years. However, OnePlus is one of those brands that also makes a buttery smooth experience. With the Oxygen OS over here, this thing just super smooth as well. They do smooth better than most Android manufacturers that I've tried over here on OnePlus products. That includes their phones like the OnePlus 12. And this is no different over here on the right. This is a 144 hertz refresh adaptive rate display. So this thing is not playing around on the OnePlus when it comes to having a super smooth panel right here. You can see you can also change that to stay in the max rate of 144 for optimal experience. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave that on for this video so it stays smooth throughout. All right, guys, so let me go ahead before we begin this test and show you everything is closed out. We're going to go over here to the power saving modes before someone gives me shit in the comments that I didn't turn off the high performance, or I didn't turn on the high performance mode. So we'll go over here, high performance mode over there for the OnePlus Pad 2. All right, so let's begin with calendar. 3, 2, go. You can see a little faster on the left. We'll go into clock here. And I think that was faster for the OnePlus. We'll hit world clock. You can see stopwatch and timers. Nice. Let's go into weather on both. 3, 2, go. And the OnePlus a hair quicker, not much. Look how similar those weather apps look, by the way. They look almost the same. Let me head up out of there. We'll go into Play Store, App Store. And you can see, was that the OnePlus? I think that might have been the OnePlus. All right, so we're going to go over here to YouTube. 3, 2, go. And I think that was the iPad. We'll go ahead. Why does this look yellow? Do I have True Tone on? I sure do. It looks super yellow with that on. Let's go into this area. And we'll hit trending. 3, 2, go. And I guess that was on the left, I think. But very small. Let's go into Twitter or X. And that's why I think you're getting an incredible value here for the OnePlus Pad 2. And I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying you're getting a great value because tablets don't really need these CPU level chips if they're not going to do like take advantage of it with like desktop software. High quality, high performing mobile chips are fine as well. Let's go into Instagram. I do think the M series does really push the iPad ahead though, if you do use some of those video based editing apps like Final Cut, or you're doing heavier photo editing, Affinity Photo. I do feel like it does really shine there, and it may be in some games, but I don't feel like most users are using those like heavily. Let's go into Groupon every single day, pushing their iPad like that. And this one wasn't ready over here. I had it ready, but then it redid this. It was ready before I did it. So let me go ahead and just run that again for fairness. And we'll go into Groupon. And you'll see, wasn't a massive difference there. Let me click the retail section and you'll see iPad optimized a little better. And I was going to talk about that in my review. The iPad apps are just a little bit better optimized for app usage, for tablet usage, excuse me. All right, guys, so let's head over into Amazon. 3, 2, go. And you can see faster on the left. Let's go into eBay. And that was faster on the right. Let's go into Jetpack Joyride. So these are probably going to turn sideways now. OnePlus does have a gaming engine that turns on. And you can see faster on the iPad Pro. I did expand the RAM to, I think I put 8 gigs booster. So we're probably closer to 20 in terms of RAM, but that doesn't really affect it right here. We are going to spin these back to the portrait orientation. Now, the games here on both of these is going to perform great because both of them have powerful GPUs. We'll hit the Den Trigger 2 and the gaming engine on both. And this one right here was faster than iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is going to get a game mode. It's going to get a game mode with the iPad OS when the 18 version comes. So keep that in mind. In terms of just graphically speaking, they're both really good, really large displays, very nice. And I think I'm going to turn these in landscape since we're in the game department. Give me a second. All right, so since we're doing a couple more games, let's go ahead and go into the Free Fire right here. 3, 2, and go. And see which one can do this faster. Now, you can see OnePlus seems to be in the lead, but is it going to win? Because sometimes it doesn't do that. And that was fast. See, the iPad Pro caught up and it was quicker. But it's only by a little bit. I'm telling you guys, for $549, trade-in gets it down to $499. This OnePlus Pad 2 is a absolute beast for that price. Absolute beast. It's actually got a more powerful chip than the Tab S9 Ultra, which has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and costs hundreds of dollars more than this one over here, and faster than the Tab S9 series. So this thing is quick. Now we're going to go back to portrait here with the Temple Run 2, but I'm going to still leave it here because the next game is going to be in landscape. And you'll see faster on the iPad Pro M4. Let me flip this over to landscape. And again, Temple Run is designed for phones mostly, so it's just blown up here for the tablets. Let's go ahead and flip this back over. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and go over to Subway Surfers, and this one also going to be in portrait. We'll just see which one can pop it open quicker. That's going to be the iPad, and then the OnePlus Pad 2. But I mean, we're talking about nothing there, like milliseconds right there. Not massive whatsoever. Not a game, not a deal breaker whatsoever. All right, guys, so let's go into PUBG Mobile in 3, 2, go, and see what happens here. And you'll see gaming mode turned on once again. Loading first there on the left, a little more intensive. And you can see the iPad Pro in the win, looks like so far. Not by a massive... Okay, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good amount. Again, though, we're talking like 2 seconds. Not massive. Not really that massive, so pretty good. I'm going to flip these back to... So let's go into Geekbench 6, 3, 2, and go. And you can see faster on the OnePlus Pad 2, better optimized. It's weird because we get better scores on iPad, but we get it better optimized on OnePlus. Let's go into the InShot application. That was basically identical. And we'll go into 3D Mark on both, 3, 2, go. And you could see faster, I believe, on the left. We'll go into Speed Test Net here. And faster on the left. So let's go into Google Chrome in a second here. All right, so let's go into Google Chrome. And that was faster on the right. I was just recently reading about this OnePlus Pad 2, but you could see right there, we do have $499 trade-in. And you could see overall, though, after all these applications opening, it seems like they're both pretty equally smooth in the animation look. They're both pretty fast to launch things. The iPad Pro has a little bit of a boost. It feels like it just has a little bit more oomph than the OnePlus Pad 2, but not by like the price difference, I would say. I'm very impressed with performance here on the right. But I'm also, of course, I'm blown away with the iPad, but a lot of people are having a hard time justifying the price of this product. So let's begin with the RAM management for the iPad Pro, and we'll go ahead and see pretty much very good here on everything so far. Just like an iPhone, you would expect it to perform very well. And it's doing that so far. And look at that animation when kind of just flipping back to landscape. It's like the smoothest in the business. And you'll see right there, very good. And this is performing way better than the iPad OS 18 beta for sure. So stay unofficial if you want the smoothest absolute performance day to day. It's always going to be the most polished. And so you've seen right there, basically perfect. This is basically perfect performance there when it comes to RAM management. Let's check the OnePlus Pad 2 now. All right, so now it's the OnePlus Pad 2's turn. Let's go ahead and take a look. And you'll see so far doing very well. And we'll go over here to Geekbench, and you'll see PUBG held open. Now that rotate from the landscape to portrait also is a little bit slower. It looks like we're reloading at Temple Run. We'll go to Free Fire. Wow, we're getting a reload here. So I'm not sure if something is being put to sleep in the background. And if we go here, yep, another reload here. I don't know why this is occurring with the 12 gigs of RAM on board, but this is definitely going to get the loss. It might be sleeping apps. Let me know if that's what's occurring. If you guys have OnePlus products, as this happens to you too. It might have been sleeping some of that stuff to keep the performance high in those more intensive games, but you've seen it held all these regular apps pretty well. Or YouTube with a reload there. And let's go into weather. And we'll go into clock and calendar. So we had a couple of reloads here. Nothing's crazy, but I think they're doing some optimization stuff where they're like toning down some of the apps in the background to keep other things performing well. But the iPad pretty much had most of it already loaded up. So I'm going to have to give this win to the iPad. But also, in general, I think an area of performance improvements that could happen for the next OnePlus Pad is kind of like when we are in landscape and we swipe back home to go here. This little rotation is a little bit slower than I would like. So I think they could make that a little faster. But other than that, pretty smooth affair here for the OnePlus Pad. No real crashes or lags. Just a couple things had to load themselves up again. All right, so here we are at the internet browsing test. Let's go to oneplus.com, 3, 2, go. And you can see, I think, faster on the iPad. And we're going to go ahead and scroll down and take a look at the scrolling. You'll see very fast on the OnePlus, like most Android phones, and very slower, smooth scroll, like on iPhones over here on the left. So basically similar to their phone counterparts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Learn More for the OnePlus Pad 2. You can see this one launched me into the OnePlus store. So I'm going to go back here and just kind of give it a look here at the zooming. You can see zooming, pinch to zoom, very good on both, no major issues. Let's take it over here to apple.com. .com here on both of them, and we'll go in 3, 2, go. See faster on iPad once again. So the iPad does browse faster as well by a little bit, but I'm telling you guys, in reality, this change is very small. And I'm not saying this is faster. I'm just saying it's not as big as it might appear to be here. And day to day, these are both blazing quick machines here. And our final Geekbench 6 scores are in, and yeah, I'm out of here. This is just not close. But what did you expect? Did you expect it to be close here in Geekbench 6? I did not expect that. So we're going to go ahead and run a 3D mark, and I'll be back when they're done. Our final 3D mark Wildlife Extreme scores are in, and it shows a 8180 for the iPad with a 49 average frame rate. This has 26.2 frame rate with 4381, so this is more like PC chip. So of course, higher frame rate over here as well, higher score, 98% better than other devices. But look at this score for the OnePlus Pad 2. This is better than 90% of devices. So while this is definitely better and faster in terms of performance, the OnePlus Pad at this price being better than 90% of devices on the market is saying something. It's saying it's a great value. So I want to wrap it up here. Overall, you have a faster product on the left. You might have expected that. It showcased that in this video. But what I think is interesting to note, and my aim of this video was to see how well did the OnePlus Pad 2 perform against the iPad. I think it performs admirably, and I think it would be a lot closer if we were comparing against like an M1 or an M2 iPad. So definitely very respectable performance here for the money, and I think OnePlus should be proud of themselves. They got a beast on their hand for that price point. And of course, iPad, very fast with the M4, king of speed, all that jazz. So this was fun to do. Let me know if you guys found it helpful, entertaining, enjoyable, informative, any of those things. Thumbs up if that was the case. Comment your thoughts down below if you want to see any more speed tests versus the OnePlus Pad, like against another iPad or Samsung Tab. Let me know down below. I'll catch you on the next episode. Be sure to be well, and peace.